Call the meeting to order. Ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following items. Item A, information technology improvements. Consider a motion to authorize the city administrator to approve proposals from Computer Integration Technologies Incorporated for the purchase of hardware and services necessary for server upgrades for an amount not to exceed $17,179.50. Item B, adopt resolution R-24-19, accepting a donation from Mr. and Mrs. James Brooks to be dedicated towards the Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of equipment for the Winston Volunteer Fire Department. Item C, adopt resolution R-24-20, accepting a donation from Mr. and Mrs. James Brooks to be dedicated towards the Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of equipment for the Winston Police Department. Item D, adopt resolution R-24-21, accepting donations from various donors to be dedicated towards the 2024 Winston Night Out event. Item E, adopt resolution R-24-22, accepting a donation from the Adult Training and Rehabilitation Center in the amount of $300 to be dedicated towards the Winston holding activities that unite people. Item F, authorize Mr. Jim Weckham, owner of sublet hangars 1 through 7, at the Winston Municipal Airport, according to the guidelines of the land lease agreement on the file for said hangars. Item G, terminate the land lease agreement between the City of Winston and Tom Okerstrom for hangar number 36 at the Winston Municipal Airport. Item H, approve the land lease agreement between the City of Winston and Richard Stodola for hangar number 36 at the Winston Municipal Airport based upon successful submission of all required documents and fees to the City of Winston. Item I, authorize wage modifications for part-time police officers in the City of Winston, placing Robert J. Cripps and Joshua Fahey at Step 3 of the 2024 part-time compensation plan. Item J, approve the claims list for August 6th. Item K, adopt resolution R-24-23, opting to join the statewide volunteer firefighter plan administered by the Public Employees Retirement Association for the Winston Volunteer Fire Department. Item L, appoint Winston Volunteer Fireperson. Appoint Mrs. Chardy Earnhardt to the position of volunteer firefighter with the Winston Volunteer Fire Department, contingent upon passing a criminal background check and pre-employment physical and drug and alcohol test. That's the consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion to approve.
Mr. Mayor, a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're going to go right to our department report tonight, and that's our city engineer, Jake.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I believe we were last here in February for the update, so in the last 6 months, we'll touch on some of the highlights here. Airport, snow removal equipment. Bids were received in April. Grant request was submitted in May. I'm waiting for the low bidder, John Deere, to provide some documents to get that finalized. Purchase of a new lawnmower, grant application through the state was successful. So working on that one as well. And then the turf runway restoration is finally complete. So this will be the last time you see this on the update. It's been on here in various capacities for quite some time. So that's a good one to get crossed off. County 5, the construction of the new corridor between County 1 and County 9, utilizing a $750,000 grant to cover a portion of that project with the county. Construction began about a year ago. The bulk of the project is complete. The new corridor is complete. The turn lanes on 9 just recently were completed. Still have to do the work at the west end on the old city street and then finish restoration. So plan to be open sometime this fall. County Road 1 overlay project. So that's a future county project where we're supplementing that with some city items. Planning to do some water main work and a little bit of storm sewer work. That will largely be a mill and overlay project that will be led by the county, and we're working on coordination with the DNR to possibly add a trail connection of their state trail from where the loose line ends at the south end to the north, roughly a block, to Baker Avenue. We did apply for a grant to extend that trail further up, and that was unsuccessful. Well, number 5, water study was completed at the end of 2022. City Council elected to proceed with the Mount Simon well in 2023. That's been designed and has gone through the PFA process. We've submitted the financing application to the PFA. Plans and specs are done, and that is currently out for bid. So there'll be a bid opening here later this month, and then we will come back to the council for consideration of construction contract award. Lead service lines. This is the requirement from the EPA that went through the Minnesota Department of Health. We did the initial submittal as was required. There's another submittal due at the end of August. I did intend to get a total number of services and how many unknowns we still had, but I neglected to do that, so I apologize. But we are still working on the survey. We're contacting folks. We've done some door knocking with the older homes. Those are the ones that are most concerning, homes that were built prior to 1986. This was a $75,000 grant from the state for us to work on this inventory, and we anticipate there'll be additional years of grant money available from the Department of Health. So we'll keep our eyes out, and then this winter I'll reach out to the city administrator when we have that next round to hopefully secure some more dollars to basically pick up where we left off on this inventory work next year. Miscellaneous items, GIS system. Have been making minor utility corrections as we found them, and then more recently we updated some zoning data and some parcel information, parcel lines, parcel owners that have changed hands. Just a lot of the background information on the city site that was recently updated. Drainage issues, continuing to tackle those. The most recent one, 4th and 5th Street, some flooding between those two blocks. Couple options that we're discussing and have shared with the administrator. And then development work, two projects, the Grass Lake Farm development plans are approved with construction anticipated to begin next month. That will be nice to get moving on that. So that's one of the apartment buildings. And then St. John's Lutheran Church construction is underway with that over by the Westgate neighborhood. Inland Park, working on some site planning stuff and doing some layouts and costs. The city to consider some work there. Pheasant Run, project was approved to add some utilities for a couple new lots. Construction just began today on that. Telecom services, we did have an active project with T-Mobile. They are largely done. We just have a few punch list items that we are monitoring to get that project wrapped up. And Mill Reserve Park did some planning and some cost work for a potential water fountain in the park. And then sidewalk replacement did some costs and concepts for some overall replacement work throughout the city. So that's it in a nutshell. Questions, comments?
How does the financing on the well project, how does that work? They qualify for low interest.
So we had to submit an application and get scored, and then you have to have a certain score in order to be available. And basically we get the state bonding rate. So it's a lower interest rate than we would be able to get if the city were to finance it separately with some sort of water revenue bond. So to do that application, worked with Raquel to submit several forms and items. We have to do a quick environmental review, a couple hoops to jump through in the state's end in order to get access to that money. So that.
And then how long do we bond? How many years?
I don't know if we've determined that yet. It can be up to 30. It's usually 20 is the most common bonds, but it does vary depending on the city's finances. I don't know, Raquel, if you know the answer to that. I would assume it's 20, but
That's what it's set at. No, it's 20.
It is okay. They're normally 20. Yeah. Other questions?
Counselor Jake?
Questions?
I guess not. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
You're dismissed. We'll come to the open forum section of the meeting. If anybody wants to address the council, step up. Name. I know who this is.
Rank.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, just wanted to remind folks to please blow the street off or sweep the street off after they're done mowing. We've had issues with that. We do every year, but we just ask for your cooperation so that doesn't go down the storm drains. And then please clean up after your dogs when you're walking them. That would also be helpful for all of us. And the last thing I have is our Winston Night Out event is on this coming Thursday at the Winston Fire Hall at 6 o'clock. We have many agencies coming, including Lifelink Helicopter. We've had them for many years. Officer Lammers does a great job putting that event on. There'll be food and giveaways for people that attend. Thank
What
you.
time is that?
6 p.m. Thursday.
Okay.
Leads right into Summer Festival weekend.
All my life.
We've come to the city administrator update and announcements.
I don't have a ton either. I have Winston Summer Festival coming up here Friday and Saturday. Fireworks Friday, Saturday parade. Fireworks are being shot from a different location this year, but you'll still be able to see them over the lake. And then we have the fire department will have their pancake breakfast on Sunday, 8 to noon.
Tom, did you have anything?
I do. I think we're all aware that the promenade has not looked very nice this year. And I know they've recently done some work, but these are all things that should have been done in the spring. And so I would like our Public Works Department to present a plan to the council for next spring, how they're going to, trim and maybe cut back some of the flowers or weeds. I don't know if they're weeds or what they are in there, but there was just no urgency in taking care of it this year. And it just, for all the time and effort and money we put into building it, it doesn't look nice. So if they could present that plan at our first meeting in September, that would be nice.
Anything else, Tom?
No.
Cloud County Food Shelf is celebrating their 40th anniversary on Thursday. They're offering refreshments and lunch from 11 to 1 at the Glencoe site and 6 to 8 at the Hutchinson site. All are welcome.
Tim, did you have anything?
No, sir.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.